Breaking news, Jacob Collier has released the 10-year anniversary of his debut album, In My Room. June Lee was found dead in a ditch, and Andy Chamberlain is somewhere hot on the trail. It's times like these where we have an abundance of Jacob Collier when I start thinking about the world's supposedly busiest music nerd. I believe that Anthony Fantano, as a music reviewer, finds talking about or criticizing Jacob Collier as a functionally impossible task. This is to say that I believe that Anthony Fantano and Jacob Collier have such fundamentally diverse and different views on music creation and production that any and all attempts of Anthony Fantano to criticize Jacob Collier literally don't make sense. It's like dividing by zero. Fantano seems to review music the same way one would review a movie, which is to say there's narrative structures, productive choices, and bodies of work that are to be considered in the review of an album. As well as a single song. But Collier sees the act of creation as a process to be explored in its own right. One of Collier's stated goals is to make bad music. I think he said this on multiple occasions. He deliberately goes out and asks himself, I can't remember how he phrased it, what is most disgusting, or the word disgusting was involved in some way. I'll find a clip and show it. Just spent 20 minutes of my morning trying to find that goddamn motherfucking video where he looks like this. I literally Google reverse image searched this, and it said, oh, this video doesn't exist. But I just screenshotted it from another video where he's talking about some other bumfuck thing about pulling music straight out of your ass like a string. I'm saying shit like he looks like this, officer, he's right here. Nurse, he got out again. My point being that Jacob Collier explores music by any means necessary in order to discover what's possible. And so any and every insult that Anthony could throw at Jacob's music, Jacob would probably wear like a badge of honor. Anthony says something like, oh, you made yourself sound like a sleepy Rick Astley? In what world does that sound like an insult instead of a compliment? You just compared him to Rick Astley. And I would be totally fine if Fantano's and Collier's worldviews and philosophies about music were simply incompatible. But I think what's got me fucked up is the fact that Anthony Fantano likes Andrew Huang, and Andrew Huang is just like a Canadian Jacob Collier. Multi-instrumentalist, multi-genre, home studio, DIY, music artists, content creators, who are only really differentiated by the Atlantic Ocean. And yet for some reason, Anthony Fantano prefers Andrew Huang over Jacob Collier, even though I would also argue they match in terms of productivity as well. My only interpretation as to why I could possibly explain why Anthony Fantano's feelings for these two very similar artists are so different, I think has to come down to marketing. There's this whole idea that we've been packaged about Jacob Collier being the savior of jazz or the Mozart of Gen Z, which Jacob Collier himself doesn't purport, and it's even a thing that he confronted so much as in his first album. Jacob Collier writes a song called Savior where he doesn't want to be considered a savior of music. Jacob Collier in Jesse Volume 4 wrote, "Please let me be ordinary. Please let me be an ordinary person making music." That's literally a statement that's made in the first track of Jesse Volume 4. Please let me be ordinary. So I believe that Fantano's perspective on Jacob Collier is horribly skewed by really bad marketing that's built up over the years. This has led to Anthony Fantano being fundamentally incapable of hitting a moving target. You can't really hit Jacob Collier because he's not one thing. In contrast, Jacob Collier can't make a cohesive project because he uses music as a platform to explore philosophical ideas. And that in turn is a structurally unsound foundation to build an artistic vision. I could try and fail to keep shooting fish in a barrel for another 4 minutes, or I could just show you the YouTube comment that inspired this video. So I'm going to end this video with my favorite comment from Anthony Fantano's less than a minute long review of Jesse Volume 4. People hate things for what they're not and neglect to recognize what they are. Son of a bitch, go ahead and end the video right now because I could not have said it any better. That's the whole video. That's the point.